Welcome to the True Talk Podcast. Here's your host, Jenna.
All right, guys, welcome back to the True Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Jenna, and it looks a lot different from what I've recorded in the past just because, hi, Casper. Yeah, we have some special visitors today with us. So I actually invested in getting the nice microphone and setup and all that. So shout out to my guy Corey that we had on the podcast last that introduced me to all of this. But without further ado, I want to introduce to you all somebody who needs no introduction by any means, but my cousin Stella is on the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Jenna. I'm so honored to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on. So Stella and I were talking about this, God, when I first spoke about like starting a podcast, right? And I was like, I think it would be so cool if we did an episode together.
Because I was always wanting to do stuff with me.
I know. I'm sorry. But if we had a camera that would follow us based upon our conversations and stuff, it'd be pretty damn entertaining.
Oh my God, viral.
Yeah. But I really wanted to bring Stella onto the podcast because just like what I always try to talk about and what I've always been wanting to push on the podcast is that motivation to live in your truth, be your authentic self, follow your dreams. Like no dream is too big. And guys, if I'm being completely honest, Stella is the one who really enforced that for me because when I first started my business venture, she was there to be like, yeah, girl, do it. Like you have a dream that you want to get this car. Okay, but what's bigger than that? Like you've always taught me to dream way bigger and shoot for way more because we can, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Most people in life are just surviving.
Yeah.
They're not living. And that's just because they're too scared to go after what really fuels them, what their dream is, what God put inside of you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's just number one because of fear. But number two is because you tell your dream to somebody else and they shoot it down. They'll give you 20 million reasons why it's not going to work. But the dream was given to you, not to them. So they can't see it.
Yeah.
That's why if you have a burning desire to do something, take the risk and do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to fail? Okay. You're no further, it's not going to change your life anymore if you don't do it. Versus,
Exactly. So we're going to get right into it. Stell, can you tell the listeners and viewers about how you became to be the boss that you are? Because, guys, Stella was chosen. I like to say that, those in the medical profession, they're chosen because it takes a special type of person to even get to that. So Stella was actually a pediatric oncology nurse for 20 years.
I was there 21 years.
21 years. And that's a difficult job, to say the least, right?
Yeah. I, like many of us growing up, were taught to look for a, something that we wanted to be when we grow up. And at 18 years old, nobody really knows what that is. So I was really good at science and I was a caretaker by nature. So I just kind of went into the nursing profession, and I love working with kids. And I was placed in a pediatric unit down in Baltimore City, that's where I spent my entire career in different departments. And I specialized in children with cancer. I learned a lot, but throughout that time and experience, I always felt like there was something else. Like I have a really hard time with authority, and I have a really hard time with people telling me when I need to come to work. I'm horrible at clocking in, clocking out. I'm really horrible at asking for permission to like take vacation, or like if I want to do something, I want to do it. And I remember being a very young nurse and sitting at the nurses station and looking at some of the older nurses who I admired. They had experience, but I'm like, there's got to be more to life than this. And I don't get me wrong, I love my career and everything that it had taught me, but it was time for me to pursue that burning desire to do something else. And you had mentioned like me being a boss. Honestly, the reality of it is we come from a bloodline of hustlers.
Shout out to Vegas fam.
We truly do. Like my father and who is Jenna's grandfather, they came to America.
Jenna's grandfather's brother.
Well, your grandfather came here too.
But I thought you were saying it like your father is my grandfather.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. They're brothers. Did I not say that?
Yeah.
No. But so they came here and, for the American dream, and every single one of my father's brothers, and my father included, there's 5 of them, they all are self-made in business, all of them. And so we have that instilled in us. And so while I was in nursing, I was introduced to an opportunity to do like a side hustle. And I was like, all right, just promoting products that I loved online. And I saw the bigger picture. Like I saw what could be with it. So I did it alongside of me working as a nurse full time, knowing that ultimately I wanted to move and make this into something bigger.
Right.
So fast forward, and I did this during the era, like right now, it's a lot more accepted to promote things online. A lot more people are doing affiliate marketing and network marketing and that kind of stuff. But when I was doing it, it was just kind of like cringy a little bit. But I didn't want to make it cringy. I really genuinely wanted to share products that I was loving. And when I saw the bigger picture that I could also help other people make money, that's where I was like, I want to create an organization. I want to create a business from this.
Yeah. I mean, so Stella went through an incredible career changing the lives. Like Stella was known as the nurse to get a smile out of the kids going through cancer treatment.
Yeah, I love them. Honestly, they taught me, like the impact they had on me was just as great as the impact I had on them, and their families were so grateful. And I would do anything. Like I would walk in the room with another nurse and we'd bust out singing and dancing and rapping, just like whatever we needed. Because when I would go to work every single day, one thing I would always do, I think I've told you this before, Jenna, one thing I would always do is listen to something every morning, you guys, that is going to fill up your cup. We don't do that enough. We're constantly going throughout the day, pouring into others, and we come home and we're depleted. We have nothing left for ourselves. So one thing I would do every morning is I would listen to a podcast or something on YouTube, something to really fill up my cup, because I knew as soon as I walked into that hospital, I was going to be giving all day long. I was going to be pouring into others, and I was okay with it, but I needed to be, prepared for it. But they taught me so many lessons, and they didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Life lessons.
It's such a rewarding career that you had. And like you say, I feel like it really was able to shape you to where you are today.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I love that Stella says, and it cracks me up, is I'll tell her, like, do you want to do it this way or you want to do it that way? And she'll be like, honestly, girl, whatever blows your hair back. And she told me she would tell that to her oncology patients, the ones that have no hair from radiation.
You guys, they would crack up laughing. They did not, even the parents would crack up laughing because, listen, you're at a time where it's the worst time in your life, right? Your child is going through active chemotherapy, active cancer treatment. And just to make them have a little crack a smile or something that just it made my whole day. I really did. And
I love
the patients would laugh, the parents would laugh. It was just
I mean, like, at first you're just kind of like, oh, it's a little effed up, like, how can you say that? But I get it. I get what you mean, that it's anything to get a little crack out of it. But yeah, so I love that. But let's get into this, your mindset, how you work, how you've been able to overcome, to be able to leave something that's steady income and to take a chance on yourself, because that's something that a lot of people are afraid to do, frankly. It's a scary thing.
Yeah, totally. So first and foremost, I don't care what you believe in. Okay. I don't know whatever religion, whatever your spirituality is. If you believe in God, I believe in God, whatever you may believe in the universe or whatever, Santa Claus, you have got to have a belief in something, because if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything.
Wait, Santa's not real?
No, honey, he is. What was the question again? Mindset? Okay.
The belief in something.
Yeah, the belief in something. So for me, it's my spirituality and it's God. And I just you have to believe that things are happening in life for you, not to you. So a lot of times people, their mindset is, well, why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? This is happening to you. It's preparing you for something. We're all going to go through hard shit in life. Let's be real. Every single person you meet is either going through something, is just gotten out of something, or is getting ready to go through something. So, I mean,
they don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet.
Coming.
But if it was given to you, it was given to you because, one, you're equipped to deal with it, and two, you're meant to take the lesson from it. I always say that whatever I haven't learned from my parents, like whatever your parents don't teach you, life will. And that's the reality. And life will keep bringing it to you until you learn whatever lesson it is. Because all of this is not the destination. It's all the journey, the preparation of getting you to where you need to be. So for me, I had to really, really believe in myself. I had to step out into faith, because we walk by faith, not by sight. And some people are like, well, you know what? I'll have to see it to believe it. When it comes to your dream and what you want for yourself, you have to believe it, and then you will see it.
I love that. That's something that I stand by so much, is that seeing is not believing.
No.
Believing is seeing. Just like Santa Claus, guys. I don't have to see Santa to know he's real.
Right.
No, but and honestly, speaking on the topic of Santa, that's why I love the Polar Express as my favorite Christmas movie, because that's a theme in the movie that is so apparent, and they reiterate it over and over again, that believing is not, or seeing is not believing, believing is seeing. And that's just like a universal mantra to use.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is too, obviously you hold your own faith and you want to pursue a dream. A lot of people don't pursue their dream is because they're crippled by fear, or it's always easy to, well, yeah, but I got bills to pay. We all got bills to pay, Guess what? If you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's not living, okay? So you should step out and I understand. I'm not shitting on anybody who lives paycheck to paycheck, has financial issues, because I'm going to tell you something. I've robbed Peter to pay Paul before. I have done things. I have literally gone into my bank account and I'm like, I don't want to see what it is. I don't want it, because we all go through that in life. But you either stay there or you step out and you pursue something that you take the risk. You got to jump. Every successful person out there has jumped, and a lot of them have failed. And people are like, I'm worried about failing. You got to fail. You got to fail.
Yeah.
Success, the best teacher for going. Oh my God, it's just
Stella got like 12 cats.
I do not have 12 cats. I was also a medical foster, you guys, when I was a nurse.
But the two of them are fighting right now.
But what was I saying? I lose my squirrel. I lose my I lose my train of thought. Okay, well, whatever. But yeah, you every successful person has failed, and the biggest lessons you're going to learn is when you fail.
Yes.
Yes. People that are successful, unless you were handed success like
a silver platter.
Yeah, like your parents or you grew up into a family. But every self-made person has failed multiple times. The difference between them and unsuccessful people is they just didn't give up. They never quit on themselves.
Yep.
And success is definitely not, and I'm nowhere near, guys, where I want to be. Trust me, my vision is so damn big for what I want for myself and my family and my son that, like, if I told you what my future is going to look like, you would be like, yeah, okay, girl, yeah, okay. But
yeah,
it's not for you to see. It's for me to, make happen.
Exactly. Guys, like, I would come to Stella and I would be like, I don't know, like, I want to start this business, but I don't know how it's going to go. And this person's telling me this and that person's telling me that. And she would literally look at me and go, okay, but is this your business or theirs?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are you going to listen to? All the naysayers or yourself?
I'm going to tell you something about the naysayers and the keyboard warriors and all of that. So when I built my side hustle into a business and I started doing affiliate marketing with also other brands, as well as working on my main business, there are people that are going to leave negative comments. There are people that are going to say really, really rude and nasty things to you, but you have got to build your belief in yourself so big. That's why personal development is huge to do every single day. You have got to continue to feed your mind, or else the world is going to feed it for you, and the world is ugly. Like, there are people out there that will completely just try to put you down. You have to put on blinders and just keep going. When people are putting you down, because I have girls on my team that are just getting started and they're like, oh my God, Stella, this person deleted me. And this, I was like, okay, number one, congratulations. You've been blocked and deleted. You're being seen. And if people are giving you, and when people are saying mean things, honestly, it's a reflection of how miserable they are. You have got to pray for them and bless and release and keep it moving, because they at the end of the day are not going to pay your bills. And I'm going to tell you one thing. My biggest supporters are women that I never have met before. I have so many strangers that have become friends, and those are the people that literally will support me in all of my brands. If, they're the ones that are like, oh, thank you for so much for recommending this. Like, literally, your family and friends are probably not going to be your first to support you, sad to say. So get out there and create a community of people that are going to love on you.
For me and her, like,
right,
we definitely support each other. So, like,
but in general, I literally, I have girls that are like, no, my family won't buy for me. I'm like, it's okay, girl, get used to it. Most of them won't.
Exactly.
You don't need it. You'll find your people, and when you do, they are going to believe in you and follow you and love on you. And then the ones that don't, it's okay. They're fans. They're just watching from the sidelines.
We just pray for them.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
All. That's why I'm so grateful for all y'all out there. True.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, because you guys, I say these in my stories on social media a lot. The number one thing, when there's so many people that are like down and they have anxiety and depression, and a lot of mental illness is being talked about more. And I think that's great. You guys, the number one thing for that is stop and give gratitude.
Yeah.
Even if, you might say, I hate this car, I hate this job. Stop and say, you know what? It's okay. I have a car to get me to that job, and I get to go to this job. One thing that I always recommend is if you are feeling down, just think of 10 things you're grateful for. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be that you woke up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that you have a roof over your head. It could be that where your next meal is coming from. It could literally be anything. Just if you list 10 things, literally it snaps you out of that like anxious, depressed mode.
Yeah.
Because the two feelings can't coexist together in your brain. It's impossible.
Right.
So
right.
Give gratitude whenever you can.
I love that. Gratitude's one of the main things that I've spoken about as well. But I love this one quote that you always say to me whenever I come crying at your doorstep, and that is rejection is redirection.
Yeah, guys. So if we would just embrace this, I heard this a few years back and it just stayed with me. Like when the universe, when God, when whatever it is that you believe in has stopped something in your life, don't question it. Like a lot of us spend time questioning people, trying to change them, relationships. Why isn't this working out? That means you are being redirected to something better for you. And a lot of times we don't know what that is, but you just have to have faith that if God has put a period, leave it alone and move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've come to you with plenty of relationship problems. Go ahead, sip your water.
Got to get ready for this one.
Plenty of relationship problems. I'm trying to think of how I want to word this.
Mm-hmm.
What is one of your best pieces of advice for someone who just feels like they are just meeting the wrong person over and over and over again?
Guys, let me tell you something. If you are in the dating space, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Don't take it too seriously. Don't try to fix anybody. Men and women, mostly men, come as is merchandise, okay? You are not going to change them, reshape them, nothing. You have to love them as they are, and if not, then keep it moving. And the one thing, and I've said this to Jenna, when you date, you guys, dating is supposed to be fun, okay? Date for fun. I know that you want to date for potential, and you should. There should be certain non-negotiables, right? But when you're dating, have fun. Date like the way men date. Date multiple people at a time. I always tell Jenna, you need a pair and a spare. Until that man locks you down and says, listen, I want us to be exclusive, you're not exclusive. So many women, and I get this because I've done this before, but enjoy your dating, guys. Let them take you out. Let them, you're going to meet your person when the time is right. And I've had even older friends of mine be like, but I'm ready. Okay, girl, you're ready, but maybe your person that's been ordained for you is not ready yet. Maybe they're still prepping. You know what I mean? So just have fun, travel. Life does not need to be like, get married, have kids, live your life in the white picket fence. No, it doesn't go in that sequence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just enjoy it. Your person's it's gonna show up when you're least expecting it. And I know that sounds so cliche, but in the meantime, girls, live your life, enjoy, get up on that table, dance, have fun with your girlfriends, do the things that you want to do, and just practice self-care. Yeah. Your person will come when it's their time.
Yes, absolutely. I want to shift the conversation a as long as you are comfortable with speaking about it. So you had the best little boy later on in life. Guys, just to put out there, if you haven't seen on my social media, I baptized her son along with my cousin and her niece. So you have the best little boy.
Thank you.
And you had him later on in life, right?
Yeah.
How has that changed you? How is that, and more so, how has that really fueled you with where you want to go in your business?
Yeah. So I always knew I wanted to be, okay, so let me just back up. So like Jenna said, I had my son in my 40s. Now, when he was not planned, I didn't have my eggs frozen. I actually had made peace as I got older. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not in the cards for me to have a child, even though in my heart, I felt like I was meant to be a mom. I didn't know how, and I wasn't going to force it. I was not going to be out here trying to date whoever just so I could have a kid. So God gave me a little beautiful little boy. I got pregnant in my 40s, unexpected. His dad and I were just dating. We are together, and he is the absolute joy of my life. There's something really special about having a child a little bit later in life. You have a lot more patience. Energy level is down, but you're definitely more patient.
That's neither here nor there.
Right. So ladies out there, I know, and this is a super sensitive topic, but you know, if it's in your heart to be a mom, you're going to be a mom. It might not come in the form that you expect it. It might not come in the time that you expect it. Maybe you're going to adopt or whatever, but just know that it'll happen when it's meant to happen for you. He has come into my life at a time where, and he completely has turned it inside out in a good way. Since I had him, I am 100% at home working on my business. I am so grateful, you guys. Literally, I give gratitude every single day that I'm able to spend every day with him while at home building a business. And I have cried over the thought of, I know lots of moms, they have to go back to work, and and thought about my friends and coworkers that I had as nurses that would cry the first day they had to come back to work after having their baby. And I just am so grateful that, I'm able to stay home with him. I don't miss a thing with him. I was there for his first step, his first word, his everything. And that fuels me because I want to continue. You have to stay humble in life because whatever's been given to you can quickly be taken from you. So I want to continue to build a solid business and foundation and continue to grow so that I can continue to share these moments with him and be present in his life as much as I can.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I've told you this before, but you are a kick-ass mom.
thank you.
The fact, because those out there who know, stay-at-home moms, that's a full-time job.
The hardest,
in
you guys.
of itself. I'm a nanny part-time, and just even doing that for like 8-9 hours in a day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how these women do it.
You're never off. It's not like you leave a job and you leave,
right?
No, you're never off. You're never off. And yeah, it's hard, but leaving them behind and going to a job and creating somebody else's business and building someone else's dream is harder, in my opinion.
Yes, 100%. So going back to dreams and goals, how do you figure out your goals and plan them and be able to stay on that course? Follow.
So, it's hard. And a lot of times I'm still in the process of, I'll want to do something and then life happens and it takes you a little bit off course. But the thing that I can tell you is you have got to be disciplined. You are not always going to be motivated to wake up every day and to like check things off your box, but you've got to be disciplined. I heard a saying and I live by this. If you do what is hard, your life will be easy. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. And it's hard to sometimes stay disciplined,
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It is.
I also believe I'm a big goal writer and writing down what it is I want to achieve, because you guys, there is some sort of scientific, and I can't remember, it's like 43%, 48%. You're more likely to hit a goal if you write it down and it's in front of you. There's something about pen to paper where you write, your brain absorbs it more. I can't remember what it was, but so I'm a big writing down of your goals and rewrite them often and rewrite them bigger. Like Jenna was saying at the beginning of this broadcast when she had shared a couple of things with me about goals, and I was like, redo this, go bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there are no limits. There are no limits. Write your goals down, write what it is that you want, and then plan for that. Like execute an action plan. Like a lot of times people write stuff down and you don't do anything about it. Like you got to do something to make your goal.
Right. So here's the other thing that can be difficult that I feel like I kind of struggled with in the beginning is that, and we touched on it a little bit in the beginning of this conversation, but what others are going to say, what others are going to think. And you guys know I've spoken about it multiple times on the podcast. We're Greek. Greeks talk. So it was difficult in the beginning to be the black sheep, step out of the herd and be like, no, I'm going to build this empire.
Yeah. I think it's really important to know that, and this goes for people in general, you guys, it is, it's as you climb, it's, they say it's lonely at the top. I'm not anywhere near being at the top, so I'm not trying to say that, but the bottom is overcrowded with people not doing shit about chasing the kind of life that they want. Okay. And those people are going to always criticize, but it doesn't matter. They don't pay your bills. They don't live your life. They don't get up and share your feelings. And those people, you don't need to worry about them, because you're never going to meet a hater doing better than you. Never. Because the people that are doing better than you and the people that are killing it in life are focused on their own damn life. They're not focused on anybody else's.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just focus on you, focus where you're going, because what happens is people are going to talk, and then later when you're successful, they're going to be like, yeah, I knew her. That's my girl,
Yeah.
Really? You never supported me once, but okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're friends apparently. Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible, insightful things. And what's so funny, y'all see Stella, like she's glammed out, hair done, makeup done, nails done, but like she's no fool. Okay. Like the amount of stuff that I've been able to learn from her is just so invaluable. And I've told you this before, but I am immensely grateful to be able to have someone like you so close to where I can come to you and be able to vent and feel heard and feel supported.
Yeah. And we all need that.
Yeah.
Definitely do.
Exactly. Yeah. But there's something else, and I know I'm like jumping all over the place with the conversation, so I apologize to you guys, but this just popped in my head. One of the things that you have posted before is that you work extra hard because you have your son who's watching you.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm curious, what is the legacy that you want to build and hold for your son and for even people like me who look up to you?
Thank you. So guys, you just never know who you're impacting. And for me, I want to be the best version, and we all want this for ourselves, to be the best version of ourselves. And my son, like, I waited so long to have him in life, but even if I had him in my 20s, you know, you want your kids to be proud of you. You want just like you're proud of them, you want them to be proud of you. And I want to teach my son, like, I want to raise a legend. I'm seriously going to raise a gentleman who is a legend. He is going to learn to work hard and love life. And I'm going to say something that's probably super unpopular here. Okay.
Go ahead. Say it.
But, you know, my son, if he does not want to pursue college, or let's say, you know, education, he's obviously going to get his education. But if he does not want to go to college and he wants to build a business, mama's going to support him. I'm going to support him, but I'm also going to like let him fall a little bit, because there are certain lessons that I'm not going to be able to teach him and that life is going to have to teach him. But the one thing I will do is tell him that he can be whatever he wants to be, as long as it's, you know, he's not hurting anybody. He is, if anything, helping, and he remains a good human. I'm going to support him following his dreams.
Yeah.
Because there are, you know, we've been taught in life, you guys, honestly, to look for jobs and not opportunities, because we needed to take the safe bet. And I want my son to feel like, you know what, if you don't want to be a doctor, or you don't want to be a lawyer, or you want to go out there and open up a business, do it. It's your life. I gave you life, live it, you know? So,
yes. And that mentality is something that a prior guest that I had on, Megan Ewing, shout out to my girl Megan. She is another kick-ass mom entrepreneur. And I loved what she said in our episode, which was her daughter dreams so big. Her daughter is like 7, 8 years old, and was like, I want to write a book. And wrote the book.
Awesome.
Wrote the book.
Yeah, girl.
And Megan said, she was like, I want to be that person in my daughter's life where I'm that one person in her life that's not going to say no. Because life is going to sit there and knock her down, tell her no so many times.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be that person for her to stop her dreams.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. Listen, no is something that they need to hear. Right. And you want to prepare them.
This is real narrow.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Because I'm also very much, and you know this, I'm very much tough love. Like my son, I love him, and but I don't coddle him. Like,
it's not just to her son. I called Stella the other day when I had tonsillitis. My tonsils were swollen. It was so painful to swallow. And I'm like crying. And I go to Stella, I'm like, Stella, I don't feel well, and I have the chills. And she's like, you're fine.
I'm like, you're fine. Take some Tylenol, ibuprofen.
You'll be okay. And I'm like, no, but it's just somebody like cuddle me, tell me I'll be okay. And she's like, you're fine. I'm telling you, you're okay.
You remember that bloodline of hustlers that we come from?
Yeah.
That's who taught me to be tough. My dad raised 3 girls who are tougher than most men I know.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So funny. But Stella, thank you for coming on.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. This was fun.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved being able to talk with you on here, and so that they could actually hear what you and I just talk about on the phone, or if I come over. But I have one last question for you to be indicted into the True Crew officially. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
If I could have one superpower, to make myself invisible.
Why?
Because you could be at places where people didn't expect you to be, or maybe fly. I don't know. That's a good question. You should prep me for this one.
Oh, no, the spontaneity of it is the best part.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you guys on that one. My superpower. Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
Be continued.
right now it's either invisibility or flying.
Yeah.
Mine's flying, if that makes you feel
Is it?
better. Yeah.
So you can just go and go anywhere, escape. Yeah.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Spread my wings.
Well, you're doing it, girl.
I'm trying. But also, because we have a lot going on here, as we see with the new setup, and shout out to my team members, Sophia, for helping me with everything. But I launched the official True Talk, True Empire merchandise.
What? With the clapping button.
Yeah, where's my applause button? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I know. Thank you.
Hey, that applause was a lot longer than mine.
My bad. But guys, the link will be in the description. Go check it out. We have 5 items so far on the website. We have a couple sweatshirts, some t-shirts, and I just want to really thank all of you for supporting me in my dreams and making all of this really come to fruition and become something. The True Crew and this True Empire is continuously growing. We have so many things in the pipeline to come. I spoke about it on my stories the other day, but we are officially going to be closing out season 1 of True Talk in the next episode. So not this episode with Stella, but the next episode I have coming up is going to be the finale of season 1.
That's awesome.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
Gosh, 1 season already.
I know. So more so because Stella and I are going to Greece for 5 weeks. So we leave in a week. But I really want to take that time and make sure that I have everything organized and more of a process now that I've gotten a lot more comfortable with talking on camera, talking into the microphone, recording, and, you know, all that stuff, et cetera. But so excited for all that's to come. We will be launching more designs on the website, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I am also going to be, like I always do in the description, I am going to be linking Stella's Instagram and her TikTok and her account so that you can follow her. She represents a lot of incredible businesses, and they are, most of them are small businesses, right? So they have such cool, unique things, unique products, and just very well made.
Yeah.
Stella will never suggest something and recommend something to people if she does not stand by it 110%.
Yeah.
So
I'm not using it, loving it. I'm not going to promote it to you guys.
exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to put her socials in the description. Let us know if you liked the episode, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, I have more. What?
Thanks for listening to the True Talk podcast. Make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and stay tuned for more to come.